Welcome to Slaughterhouse Stories. I hope you enjoy the story I have for you tonight. Mr. Cindy, I remember yesterday. Hello there. My name is Jeremy Mitchell. I'm an 11-year-old boy from Northeast Philadelphia. Some crazy things have been going on lately. Coronavirus, social distancing, and having to wear masks. We've been pretty lucky though. No one from my family's gotten sick. But then yesterday happened. It was such a nice day outside. March came and brought us plenty of nice weather. We can't go to the playground or school or things like that, but as long as I stay away from people, my dad says I can ride my bike. I was so happy. Being allowed to go out for the first time in weeks and ride my bike for just a couple of hours felt like the best thing since Christmas, which is when I got my new bike. Who would have thought it would have caused any problems? I rode all around the neighborhood without any problems. The sun was high in the air. Everything was whizzing by as I rode faster and faster. I don't know how long I was out there, but I started to get hungry and tired. So I took the turn and got back onto my street. And that's when I heard it, cutting through the traffic and the sound of my bike on Scaleman Avenue. The laughter, the giggling, like children hiding somewhere and watching me. I heard it coming from an alleyway, about 7 or 8 houses from mine. I crossed the street to take a look. It was so odd, the sun being out and overhead, but the alley was so dark. No light at all. I stood a few feet away, peering into the darkness. Then, I saw a single pair of eyes, staring back at me. Moving closer, it seemed. Dirty fingers, with long, disgusting fingernails, appeared on either side of the alleyways. She stepped out of the alley, barefoot and covered in filth. A long, stained pink nightgown, the only clothing. Matted hair hung down to her shoulders with thin, messy hairs on her chin and upper lip. The eyes are what did it. Wild, bloodshot. A deep green that almost pulled you in. I pulled my bike back and stepped away. The giggling continued until she raised her hand for silence, and then reached out for me. "Who are you? What do you want?" I asked in a small, timid voice. The stranger answered, in a voice that I can't describe. "Mr. Cindy." The name confused me, but I didn't want to ask any more questions. I just wanted to go home. I made a move to go, and Mr. Cindy moved to block my path. The giggling started up again, but this time I could see them. A group of children with gray skin, like they were covered in ash, and they were all missing their eyes. "Come and join the other children. They would love to have a new friend. With us, you'll always be a child. You'll always have fun and laugh and laugh and laugh." And with that, Mr. Cindy rushed towards me. I could smell the foul, hot stench of her breath as she got closer. I shut my eyes tight and curled into a ball on the ground, waiting to feel those fingernails dig into my skin and drag me away. "Jeremy!" The voice of my father shouting. "What are you doing? Get off the ground. Do not let your mother see that your brand new bike is laying on the dirty ground." I was so relieved, but so confused at the same time. "Did you see it? Did you see Mr. Cindy?" I asked my dad. "See who?" "All I saw was you laying on the ground." "But Dad, there was this thing. It reached out to me. It reached out to drag me into the dark alley. My father and I both turned and looked into the bright and well-lit alleyway. I think maybe you were cooped up too long. Your imagination got the best of you, buddy. Come on, let's go home. The stores still don't have much, so we're gonna have to order pizza, and you can have ice cream later on. Just don't tell your mother any of this. She's crazy enough as it is. So me and my father made our way home. But I could swear I could hear the faintest laughter coming from the alley. But maybe he was right. Maybe I just imagined the whole thing. It seemed so real. The rest of the night went on like planned. Pizza and ice cream. We watched Doolittle, which I liked. I don't think Dad liked it though. Then it was time to get a shower and get ready for bed. The weirdness of earlier was still in my mind, but I was more focused on getting to go back out on my bike. The parking lot by the old Toys R Us is empty, and a perfect place to ride around and practice jumps on my bike. My dad started the usual goodnight ritual, which is always fun and loud. I thought I heard something else with it, but it quickly went away. We said our goodnights, and it didn't take long before I drifted off to sleep. When I woke up suddenly, my clock's little red numbers said 3:15 a.m. I'm not sure why I woke up, but when I tried to go back to sleep, that's when I heard it. Mr. Cindy. And a dirty, disgusting hand clamped over my mouth. There she was, Mr. Cindy in my bed. And she started with my eyes. I remember yesterday, the day I died. That's it for tonight's story. But before we end things, your favorite scary story narrator, me, I hope, would like you to check out the Slaughterhouse Stories podcast. Available at all your favorite podcast sites, so download and subscribe. And as always, thank you for listening. If you enjoyed tonight's story, please like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, stay spooky.